It was an early January evening in Los Angeles, the city shrouded in a haze of smoke as the Hollywood Hills fire roared relentlessly. The fire, fueled by dry winds and a winter heat wave, had already consumed hundreds of homes and left thousands displaced. Among the chaos, the streets were eerily quiet except for the distant sound of sirens and the hum of evacuation vehicles. Donald Trump, dressed in a long navy coat and his signature red tie, had just stepped out of a meeting at a downtown high-rise. He was in Los Angeles for a series of business engagements, but had decided to visit the areas affected by the wildfire after hearing reports of its devastation. He had always believed in acting decisively during crises, and this was no exception. Trump's motorcade slowed to a stop near a temporary evacuation center set up at a local school. He stepped out, flanked by his security detail, and surveyed the scene. Rows of tents had been pitched on the school's sports field, and volunteers were handing out blankets, food, and water to those seeking refuge. The air was thick with smoke, and the sun was barely visible through the gray-orange sky. As Trump walked toward the center, he noticed a young woman sitting on the curb near the entrance. Her clothes were singed, her face streaked with soot and tears. Beside her sat a small child clutching a stuffed animal, its fur blackened by ash. The woman held a sign that read, "Lost everything. Please help." Trump stopped in his tracks and approached her, ignoring the curious glances of passers-by and the press snapping photos from a distance. "Ma'am," he said, his tone uncharacteristically gentle. "What's your name?" The woman looked up, startled. "Anna," she replied, her voice barely audible. "Anna Morales." Trump crouched to her level, meeting her gaze. "Anna, what happened? Are you here alone?" Anna shook her head and gestured to the child. "This is my son, Ethan. We lost our home last night. The fire spread so fast. We barely made it out." Her voice cracked as she spoke, and tears welled up in her eyes. Trump placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now," he said firmly. "And we're going to make sure you have what you need." He stood up and turned to one of his security aides. "Get my assistant on the phone," he instructed. Moments later, he was speaking with Margaret, his longtime aide. "Margaret, I need immediate housing for a woman and her child. A hotel room, somewhere safe. And get in touch with local disaster relief organizations. We're going to cover their expenses and make sure they have long-term support." Margaret's response was swift and efficient. "Right away, Mr. Trump. I'll have everything arranged within the hour." Trump returned his attention to Anna and Ethan. "Help is on the way," he assured her. He then flagged down a volunteer distributing supplies and handed Anna a blanket and a hot meal for Ethan. "Eat something," he said. "You need your strength." As Anna and Ethan ate, Trump sat down beside them. He listened as Anna recounted the harrowing details of their escape. The smoke filling their small apartment, the frantic drive through gridlocked streets, and the moment she realized their home was gone. Her story was one of countless others being lived out across the city, and it weighed heavily on Trump. An hour later, a black SUV arrived to take Anna and Ethan to a nearby hotel. Trump helped them into the vehicle, ensuring they had everything they needed for the night. Before they left, Anna turned to him, her voice trembling. "Why are you doing this?" Trump met her gaze, his expression sincere. "Because no one should have to go through this alone," he said. "We're going to get you back on your feet." The SUV pulled away, and Trump remained at the evacuation center, speaking with other families and volunteers. He made note of their needs and promised to follow up with additional resources. By the end of the evening, he had committed significant funds from his foundation to support the relief effort, including housing, medical care, and job training programs for those displaced by the fire. The next morning, Trump visited Anna and Ethan at the hotel. They were staying in a suite arranged by Margaret, complete with fresh clothes, toys for Ethan, and a fully stocked kitchen. Anna's face lit up when she saw Trump. "I don't know how to thank you," she said, tears streaming down her face. "You don't have to thank me," Trump replied. "Just focus on moving forward. And remember, you're not alone in this." Over the following days, Trump continued to oversee relief efforts, coordinating with local officials and nonprofits to ensure the displaced families received the support they needed. He visited affected neighborhoods, met with first responders, and even organized a fundraiser to aid rebuilding efforts. For Anna, Ethan, and many others, Trump's intervention was a lifeline in their darkest hour. As the city began to recover, stories of his unexpected compassion spread, painting a picture of a man determined to make a difference in the face of unimaginable loss. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.